morning, everybody, and welcome to my Easter Sunday ride. I'm up in Poly. I'll give you more information on that. But we're going to try something different today, and it's more of a vlog using the scenery as the backdrop. I have some things that I wanted to discuss, and since it was Easter Sunday morning, I kind of felt like I wanted to delve into some questions that I have about life and existence and things, and just talk about them. And maybe if you guys are interested, listen and give me some feedback. I'm not trying to insult anybody in this. I just want to get some ideas out there. I know it's difficult for some people. They're very attached to their religion. So if you're feeling like discussing religion and different aspects of it is something that you don't want to get into, then it's probably better not to watch this. But anyway, for the rest of you, I'd like to just take this time and see where it goes. I did have some trouble with my mic while I was riding, so I decided to do this, and this is a perfect opportunity. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. This engages your mind. And let's see where this goes. All right, aloha. Oh, good morning, everybody. It's what the Christians call Easter Sunday. My girlfriend and her mom went off to Mass, and I've decided to come up to my sanctuary, the mountain, and go for a ride. So for all those of you that don't have a better place to be, you're welcome to come along and join me. I've never found being stuck inside a structure talking about things that I've yet to know much about would serve me well. So I prefer to stick with nature and enjoy all the gifts that life's brought to me. And thought maybe you guys would like to come along. Don't mean to get preachy on you. Anyway, so for you Christians, happy Easter, and for the rest of you, welcome aboard, man. Let's have a nice ride and enjoy each other's company. And anyway, let's get moving here. So, put you guys back on. This is Poly. They finally opened it up after a year and a half of being closed down due to a storm back in December of, 21. We had a bad storm and the DLNR shut it down. I guess these are new pipes they put up that got undermined, so that was the reason to shut down the park, and they finally got it all fixed. It actually looks like a nice job. I'll show you why they did what they did. If you go off the edge there, it's not what you call a pleasant ride. But yeah, they built it back up, put the posts on. Apparently this doesn't look too undermined anyway. But this is the gulch that comes down, so it would be rather awkward if you went off into there. Anyway, so yeah, I haven't been up here in a little bit. Snuck in a few times during the last year and a half just to check and see how things are going. But they opened it back up last Monday, and hallelujah, I'm stoked. I do miss this place. Haven't gotten much dirt riding in just because I've been working so much, and last year and a half has been quite the ride. Anyway, let's get rolling. As I mentioned earlier, I felt that Easter Sunday was a good time to reflect on life and existence, and to explore. I have questions. I suspect most people do, uh, about existence and reality. I find that mainstream religions don't work. Actually, no religion seems to work for me. Now, for you, that might be entirely different. I find with religion, it tends to be a package deal. You either accept what they're saying, or you're not part of their deal. And unfortunately, I think about these things. As a young man, one of my friends once said to me as we were walking, he goes, "What if there's no God?" And at the time, it was such a novel thing because I was raised as a Christian. I was about 14 at the time, and I mean, it literally just kind of blew my mind. I'd never heard the concept of what if there is no God. Now, I'm not saying there isn't because I don't know, but I do have to ask the question. And there's many people that they've got, oh yeah, this is God or that is God. I mean, you know, um, but for me, the concept of God is a very difficult thing to say. When you talk to Christians, I find that they make an awful lot of assumptions and jumps and leaps to get to where they're going with their argument. And I get it. If you've been taught something your whole life, it's really hard to change, and it's very threatening to your world outlook. And but for me, I find that the possibility that there is no afterlife, there is nothing, and that this just is how it came to be is, who knows? Maybe it's always just been. Um, the idea that something has to start and end, um, you know, is absurd. Infinity is a timeless loop. I mean, the Muslims understood that. That's how they came up with the concept of zero or infinity. Um, for me, um, it's a very very difficult thing to realize that if you say, well, the universe began, well, okay, if the universe began, what was before it? But that's a concept based on time. It has about as much value as anything else in this discussion. Um, why anything has to be before or anything has to be after um, just kind of seems absurd. It does not have to be. There does not have to be something that came before, and there does not have to be something that comes after. Um, it's quite possible that the end of life, it's like a flame. When it's extinguished, it's gone. Um, in physics, you get the concept of um, life and everything is energy. Um, does energy just pop into existence or does it disappear? Not according to physics, but then, if the universe just popped into existence, then that kind of blows that idea. Um, so these are the things that intrigue me and get my brain thinking. And I'm not saying anything I'm saying is right or that you're wrong or anybody's wrong. I mean, maybe we're all right, and that it is the way it is for us. That's the way it is. It works. It keeps us going and makes us comfortable and makes this world palatable to live in. I don't feel that the world has to make us comfortable or, I mean, I don't need answers to enjoy life. Um, but I still look for answers. I'm like anybody else. I'm curious about this. I know that there's many concepts. Like I said, the Christians believe in God, and so do the Jews and the Muslims. They have a, a monolithic God, and and then you get the Buddhists where they believe enlightenment. And I believe me, I'm not a religious scholar, so I can't go into all the religions. I mean, I know very little about it. What I do know is I don't find that I get the answers that I'm looking for from anything. Um, I find it um, difficult to follow a lot of the almost cult-like beliefs because they don't um, fit. I mean, Christ is the God, Son of God. Well, you got to believe in a God to have a Son of God. So that doesn't work for me. The Buddhists believe in enlightenment. Um, uh, yeah, I can kind of gather that. I mean, out of most religions, I probably find Buddhism to be more palatable for my taste. But even with Buddhism, I find that it tends to be a bit of an escapism. They're constantly looking for um, calm and serenity, and the world's not a calm place. It's not serene all the time. I mean, I come to the mountain for serenity and calm, but life to me is this gift that we've been given, and the whole concept of seeking to remove ourselves from it one way or another seems that you're denying this magnificent gift that you have. I mean, to me, life is to be experienced in its full, rich, overwhelmingly wonderful and painful um, blanket that it throws over all of us. And I don't want to miss this. I want to be present for everything because, like I said, if we're like a match and the flame goes out and we cease to exist, do you want? I mean, it's not like we're going to care because we're not going to exist. But I want to make the most of this incredible miracle that is life. Um, like I said, I don't have answers for it. I don't have a starting story, and I don't have an ending story. Um, so, from that perspective, I don't know. People. I was listening. I heard what was it on the radio or something. When some guy comes up with this concept, he goes, "Well, there's a 50% chance that life could be a simulation." And I'm sitting there, a 50% chance, huh? I go, now did that guy sit down and do the math? And where did he get his numbers from? I go, I mean, sure, there's a chance. I mean, there's a chance that Christianity's right. I mean, there's a chance that Buddhism's right. There's a chance, it's like, how do you get to 50% when, there's all these religions and everybody's got their own take on it? It seems to me that they all have an equal chance, but the more religions or more takes on it, the less likelihood that you got a 50% chance. So I just thought that was the funniest thing that somebody could put down a number to it. And it anyway, but there is a chance that life is a simulation. It's like the Krishnas say that life is the shadow world. That there's the real movie or whatever it is yet to be experienced. I think that if this is a simulation or the shadow world and somebody's pulling all the strings on this, that world must not be that great if people are making fantasy worlds to escape that world. It's like all the gamers and stuff that, they want to make their own world. They go into their mind and withdraw from the real world and don't experience it. It seems to me that their world isn't that great if they're trying to escape from it. And I understand, there's some people that are living real shit lives. And I don't blame anybody for wanting to escape from that. The question is, why are they having it so difficult and other people have it so good? I don't know. Is that, I mean, it's possible that that's the movie they chose to watch. Some people like to watch a horror movie, and some people like to watch a good comedy, and some people like a good drama, and maybe it's all our own creation. It's just as possible as simulation or anything else. But I think that it's just incredible. There's probably as many different possibilities of what life could be as there are people. My guess is that even people that follow a specific religion have a million different ways of interpreting that religion. No two people think the same, and it's more comforting, I think, for people to join a religion and pick a boxed way to think. Then they don't have to think about it. They can just get on with doing it, and somebody else can tell them what they got to do and what works for them and what shouldn't work for them. And then when they can't live up to it, they're disappointed in themselves and or they just pretend that that's what they are and go about it because it's easier than actually having to think for yourself. And it's okay. I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down. That's the path they choose. It's just fine. I mean, I've come to appreciate religion for certain aspects. It's helped people with overcoming great trauma and difficulties. And, I used to really, really dislike organized religion. I mean, it really pissed me off because it's so hypocritical in so many ways. They tell you this and tell you that, and then they do this and do that. But, I've learned to judge people more on their actions and what's in their heart rather than what they say they believe, because I don't think a lot of people really know what they believe because they've never sat down and actually looked at it and questioned it. I mean, how can you believe something if you've never really looked at it and questioned it? I mean, like I said, it's easy to just pick up the box religion and say, oh yeah, that's me. And if that's what you're taught your whole life, it's not an easy thing to break away from that. I mean, like I said, when my friend said, what if there's no God? I mean, it stopped me in my tracks. And I don't consider myself an original thinker or a genius or anything, but it made me think. And, if you're honest with yourself, you have to look at these things and go, yeah, that's a possibility. Timothy Leary didn't believe in anything. I don't know if you know who Timothy Leary is. He was a scientist who was heavily involved in the development of LSD and all of that. I believe he was a psychiatrist. I could be wrong. But and he was a firm believer in life just is. And there is no afterlife. There's no anything else. It's when the flame goes out, you're gone. Um, and for me, believing anything is not really being honest, because I mean it makes you comfortable, it works for you, but how can anybody believe in anything? I mean, I have my own I wouldn't call them beliefs, but I have my way of dealing with the world, and but I can't say that I know for a fact that anything is anything, and I find that atheism is just as difficult as religion. It's just a different form of religion. It's the way people come to terms with the world that we live in. Um, for me, it's an open book. I do not know, and so, but I find that I don't have to know. I don't have to have the answers. You know, I can have the questions, and it's okay. And I can be wrong about it, and that's okay too. Um, but you know, it's just things and questions that I have, and I'd love to hear feedback from anybody that watches this, if anybody does. I mean, I don't know. I'm doing this for myself more than anybody else, because um, I'm helping myself to formulate the questions that I have, and I have a lot. I have a lot of different perspectives on different takes on religion, and I don't know all the different perspectives, and it's actually quite fascinating to listen to the different perspectives. I mean, you have people like Tom Cruise and their Scientology world, where they, as I understand it, believe that there's a mothership that came and dropped us off, and it's going to come back and pick us up and save us from ourselves. And well, that's all good and great. If you want to make a religion out of it, it I it doesn't work for me. I mean, there may be a mothership that dropped everybody off. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying that that doesn't work as a religion. That doesn't answer the real questions of the universe. Um, and what's going to happen? Are you going to get picked up by a spaceship and live forever, or we're just going to do like we do now, and at some point we're going to die, and either we're going to know or we're not going to know. And that's I the whole concept for me of salvation is kind of absurd. Um, Salvation from what? From this miracle that you've been given? Um, and at this point right here, I was trying to point out that Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea off in the distance have got a little snow on them. And here we are, we're in mid-April, which is pretty incredible to have snow on the mountains this late in the year. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. Um, yeah, I mean, I can understand if your life total crap, that salvation might look pretty damn good. But I think that for salvation, that's on you. That's for you to save yourself. If you're in a bad situation, pull yourself out if you can. I mean, do whatever you have to do, and stay true to yourself doing it. Um, don't use your life as an excuse to go off the rails and just do mean, horrible crap and play the victim crap. I don't think that's a good use of your life. And I mean, maybe it is for you. Maybe that's your movie, being the victim. But I, uh, I try not to go there. I don't want to be a victim. I want to experience this life, and like I said, I don't always enjoy everything. I mean, I go through shit like everybody else, but I want to be present for that. For me anyway, the greatest gift in life is the contrast. Without bad, there is no good, and without discomfort, there is no comfort. Without misery, there's no joy. And when you've walked through hell, damn, you can really appreciate when life is your heaven. And these are my ways of dealing with the world. That's how I tend to perceive things. But I don't perceive it as a religion or as, that, oh, God's going to punish me for something that I did. I'll punish myself if anybody's going to punish anybody. I'm quite capable of realizing when I've really screwed up. So, but I don't need religion to be a good person. I want to be a good person, and that's the reason I'm a good person. Not because I'm afraid that if I'm not a good person, I'm going to go to hell or I'm going to do this and that. To me, that's bullshit. Then you're not being true to yourself, and you're not an honest person. If you have to do something because you're afraid you're going to get punished, well, that's not being true to the self that you are. And I find that to be absurd. I may not like you if you're that true to yourself, but that's not for me to judge you, and it's not for me to decide whether you're right or wrong. I decide whether I'm right or wrong, and what's right and wrong for me. And for you, it could be entirely different. I mean, you could be a damn serial killer, and that's right for you. But just know that if you are a serial killer, you will be punished if we can catch you. But on the other side of the coin, it's more honest that the person's doing that than it is for him to try and pretend he's a Christian and then go out and murder people. And well, I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting too out there even for me. So my question is this, what is existence? What is this that we're experiencing? How did we get here? Or has it always been? Is this my dream and it's gone on forever? I just don't know it? Or is it, like they say, a simulation that I've created this world that I'm in just to experience something different, and which is kind of an indication I was kind of bored where I was at. So anyway, I'm getting a little long-winded here, so I think I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of the ride, and I'm going to kind of back out of this. I don't have a good place to take this anymore, and my thoughts are beginning to wander a bit. So I asked you guys, give me your thoughts on how you perceive existence in the world, and if you want to argue your religion, have at it. Just be civil. I will say that it's pretty hard for me to I've never heard an argument about religion that works. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying for me, that does not work. But I would like to hear what you have to say. your concepts of right and wrong, how you perceive the world, and what makes you function the way that you function. And if you don't believe in religion, what makes you the person that you are, and how do you stay within the rails of that? And do you feel that you need to have a religion to be a good person, or that's just religion trying to control your actions? I mean, that is one of my big beefs with religion, is it's more about power than it is about doing the right thing. And they tell you what's right, and I haven't seen any religion that does what's right all the time. I mean, they go off the rails, and entirely off the rails, and then they rationalize their actions. So for me, it's pretty difficult to get there. So anyway, I think we're getting close to the top of the ride here anyway. So let me end with a wonderful aloha to all your folks. Thanks for listening. And if nobody listens, it's okay, because at least I'm getting something. I'm trying to put my thoughts in order and come to terms with existence on my own terms. And the other one other thing is the world is turning to this AI. We're developing this artificial intelligence, and at some point they're talking about the great singularity, where intelligence gets to the point that it can explain God and it can explain everything. Maybe that can happen, I don't know, or maybe it's the end of the game. That's the way they shut this game down, as they reach the point where they can explain it all to you, and then you can find out where you're at and whether it's real or whatever. So, maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe we're within the next 20 or 30 years, we'll be able to look at an artificial intelligence, and it can just sit there and tell us everything that we need to know, or it can tell us everything it thinks we need to know. Whether it's true or not, we'll figure that out. There's no definite line to the truth that it could tell or make up. So it'll be interesting. I mean, the world, I guess that's one of the reasons I wonder about this. It's like this great singularity that's about to be bestowed upon us by artificial intelligence is just, to me, it's just absolutely fascinating. I mean, it could be the end of existence, but, I guess at some point we all got to end anyway, so I guess it's as good a way to go as any. So, anyway, I'm bowing out. The mountain on the top left there, that's where the ride will end. So we're getting close to the top, and may you achieve your enlightenment or your goal of your heaven, or wherever it is that you feel that you need to go and answer those questions. But thank you guys for your time, and I hope this is something that interests you. If it isn't, like I said, I understand. So, aloha, and take care, and be good to each other. We're all we got, and if we're not going to take care of each other, then what's the point? So, aloha, and take care. Much easier to handle. You can pick it up. can legally go. So this is where the gate shuts us down, and anything on takes you up to the top of the crater. We're currently at about 8,000 feet. What do we got there, Chucker? Yeah, we're at about 8,500 feet, something like that. The crater goes up to 10,200, and I think there's about 4 or 5 more miles before you get to the park or into the observatories. So this is where we are. You can see through the clouds, probably can't see it, but that's Kahului, Wailuku area. This is the North Shore, and where the South Shore here, there's an isthmus that goes through here. This is Malaya Bay, and yeah, it's a beautiful day. Here's the trail we came up, the road, and church is open, so welcome to my sanctuary. You can pray to whatever you pray to, and I hope it makes you feel better. Don't ask me for any answers, because I've got none. You guys enjoy each other, yourselves, and you know, be good to the world around you, man. It's a beautiful place, and it deserves better. So I love you guys, and I'm tuning out for now, and we'll probably come back and catch you on the way down the hill. Aloha.